me start with a sensational storyline that's often found in popular media. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Paul Allen, Mark Zuckerberg, Jan Koum, Michael Dell, Richard Branson. What's common to all of them? All are very successful people who dropped out of college. Stories of the successful dropout entrepreneur tech whiz have been very popular for several decades now. The usual implication is that you really don't need to spend so much money for college and struggle to get through it because so many did not and turned out to be billionaires. There are even scholarships for young people encouraging them to drop out of college and pursue their entrepreneurial dreams. It's true that college education has become tremendously expensive in the US and is primarily for the privileged. And success is definitely possible without a college degree. But the key point we are missing is this: these sensational success stories of college dropout entrepreneurs turning into tech giants and billionaires are not representative of the larger pool of successful people. Let's look at some actual statistics and probabilities. If you look at the Forbes 400 list, the 400 richest people in the US, they are all billionaires. In 2020, out of the 362 billionaires on this list, only 44 were college dropouts. That's only 12%, hardly a majority. In 2017, Jonathan Y. and Heiner Rindemann published a study which looked at the factors that go into educational and occupational achievement in the US. This study looked at nearly 12,000 US achievers, including business leaders, CEOs, federal judges, politicians, millionaires and billionaires, globally successful and powerful men and women. About 94% of these people attended college, out of which 50% attended an elite institution, including Ivy League colleges. Other surveys have found that more than 80% of billionaires have a college degree, and about 50% of them also have a master's degree. How about college dropouts? According to Think Impact in 2021, a college dropout earned approximately 35% less per annum than a college graduate. Data from the US Census Bureau indicates that in 2020, college dropouts had a median annual income of $41,000, and those with only a high school diploma had a median income of $31,000. But those with a bachelor's degree had a median annual income of $65,000. The unemployment rate for college dropouts can also be higher than for those with a college degree. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2020, the unemployment rate for college dropouts was 6%, but for those with a bachelor's degree was 3%. Dropouts were also twice as likely to live in poverty when compared to those who successfully completed college and got a degree. So, it is much harder to achieve success without a college degree. But we often get fooled by the few sensational stories of such college dropout entrepreneurs becoming billionaires. Many of these achievers were already on their way to success and may have developed their skills significantly before dropping out of college. This particular phenomenon is called the survivorship bias, and I will talk about it in detail later in the course. The human brain is not wired to intuitively understand statistics or probability. Brain researchers believe that mathematical truths don't make much intuitive sense to our mind, especially under uncertainty and when considering random outcomes or when considering a large amount of data. So we automatically and subconsciously end up making a lot of mistakes while making decisions. We overestimate or underestimate risks and ignore certain risks completely. We attribute success and failure only to expertise and skill, when it is often based on chance or unknown and uncontrollable factors. We try and predict outcomes even with little or no relevant knowledge because the human brain is wired to seek patterns even if none actually exist. As a result, our judgments and decisions go wrong. Projects regularly run over budgets and deadlines. Successful money making ideas and ventures suddenly start churning out losses. So called market experts fail to predict disastrous market crashes, and entrepreneurs get overconfident and ruin their businesses.